My fellow traders, yes, knowing when to chill is very, very important. Today was a good example of that. You know, it's one of the first things you have to do as a trader is to really learn what your triggers are. What are the things that make you uncomfortable and that could lead you to start making trading errors? And once you figure that out, being able to identify when that feeling is coming, that's when you're going to know, hey, it's time to take a chill pill, walk away. Yeah, you may be walking away from a lot of trading opportunities, but if you're not in the right mindset, you'll make trading errors, and the best setups can't save you. So knowing when to chill, guys, is very, very important. One of the first concepts I try to teach, getting to know yourself as a trader, understanding what beliefs you're bringing in that's detrimental to your trading, and being able to identify, when these things come about and how to handle them. Sometimes it's just walking away because you could take a good day and turn it not so good, and you can take a bad day and turn it into a really bad day. And this week, I've had trouble focusing. It all started waking up late on Tuesday. Now, I cut all my alarms off for Monday because we didn't have to wake up. I never cut them back on. Started my Tuesday, and it seems like I've been fighting from behind all week. And as we go through the recap, I'm going to talk about the issues I had this week. And we're all human. We're all going to go through these things. But the fortunate part is that this could have really easily been a red week for me. This could have been one of those, 3 or 4 weeks in the year that I end up red. But I think the added focus that I'm coming into this year with, I'm trying to make sure that I stay connected with my emotions and understanding when it's time for me to stop and to walk away and to let things just play out is helping me. And it helped me avoid that red week this week. So we're going to talk about that. But first, we're going to look at today. And I'm going to tell you how today started. Okay. This is the IBM trade from earlier this week. You can see opening range breakout. Doesn't quite make it to my target. And I usually don't short shift this. I usually wait because it typically gets to my target, at least to my first target. But it didn't. Ended up stopping me out. Turned into a loser. I don't know if you could call this a fail the strategy failed, because it did work. It just didn't hit my target. And, some other people did trade it and they did make money off of it. It did hit their first target. It just didn't hit mine. So it was like a fake out. So the next day, we trade TER. Guess what? Does the same thing. Sets up long. I get in. This time it didn't even make a good move. So it fakes me out and pulls back. Okay, what do these two stocks have in common? They're both technology stocks. They're both gapped up on earnings to a 52-week high and just did not push higher. It tended to pull back in. So this morning, INTC was on our watch. Now, this was on my earnings watch, aftermarket earnings watch. But look at what happened the days coming into the earnings. It just broke out, and it just kept breaking out. So there was no way I was going to go long on this into earnings, because I honestly felt if we got a gap up, it'll slam quickly back down, that we wouldn't hold a gap. Again, I'm assuming not because the strategy is bad, because it's up so high. I'm thinking we're already up high. I'm thinking we can't gap any further. or if it does, it's not going to be that big. It's not worth the trade. And guess what? Look at the gap on it. Would have been a really lucrative trade. Left all of that money on the table. This is one of those making a week type trades. So I come in the morning. Guess what my mindset is? What am I thinking? This is a technology stock that's gapped up over its 52-week high. I'm thinking about the previous two stocks this week. I'm not thinking about executing my strategy according to plan. I'm bringing other garbage into my thoughts. And I'm thinking, and I'm trying to outthink the market. Big mistake. And it's one of the mistakes that I preach against. You have to be consistent. Just because it didn't work 2 days doesn't mean you come in and change up what you do. You come in and you execute the same strategy every day. If you start trying to guess when it's going to work and when it's not going to work, guess what happens? You lose more. So I wasn't thinking in probabilities, or I might have been thinking in probabilities and thinking that it probably won't gap up. It's probably going to fake out like these other two did, and it's probably going to sell off. And I want to catch it when it sells off. I don't want to be fooled. So I'm out thinking the market. And that's what we can't do. We can't come in, lose 2-3 trades, and then try to change up what we do. The strategy works. You know that there's going to be so many losing trades, so many that fail. But that's acceptable. You have to keep trading it and keep executing it according to your plan. And I didn't do that today. This is what happened. Here's the first 5-minute candle. So I'm sitting here waiting for it to fail so I can short this. And look what it did. Ran up, hit the first target. We got a little pullback. Pushed up again, had a little pullback, and then it ripped up to 69. This would have been a really, really good trade. Really good trade. And then here, we failed to push higher. We could have taken it off here and been done if we were, still had some more in there. This was a perfect trade. This is a textbook opening range breakout. And just because the other two failed didn't mean this was going to fail. The market is random. You have to accept that. And the only way that you're going to have an edge in a random market is to be consistent with what you do and stop trying to guess what's happening. So this week really was a plethora of trading errors. And most of the time when we lose, it's because of trading errors, or we miss out because we define the risk right out of the trade and convince ourselves that we shouldn't trade that, because even though the strategy is there, we feel that the risk is there. But how do we know? We don't, but we think we do, and then that kind of messes up. So I wait and I sit back, and this whole time I'm aggravated with myself because I made one of the biggest errors that I try to get my students to avoid. But I'm human, just like everybody else. We make mistakes. Things happen. I made a mistake. I own up to it. I can't blame it on anything else. I know this was just a rough week. I never got locked in, but that's nobody's fault but my own, because it was my fault the way it started. So, got into Roku. Now Roku made a nice move. I'm thinking, yeah, this is, really neat here. Here we bounced around, made a lower low. I get in, and what happens? Rips up, stops me out. All right. So at this point, I feel myself getting ready to lose it. So I have to take a break. It's lunchtime. I need to go to lunch. Okay, I put my stop in, walk away. Evidently, it hit as soon as I as soon as I put it in and turned around and logged off. It looks like it hit. But you could see why this irritated me. As soon as I get in, it goes down a little bit, but then it rips back up. And then this candle opens and just rips back up through the 9. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to say what I was saying. But are you kidding me? What the hell is this? We've been trending down really nicely. Everything sets up. I get in. Do I give it enough room? Yeah, I had given it enough room. Based on the ATR and the candle range and all of that, I gave it enough room. And then a little bit more. But just didn't work. So what happens after the fact? Oh, well, yeah, what happened here is I lost $257.56 today. So I'm red 257.56 today. Here's what happens. It pushes up. It can't break through the 200 and the 20 and all of that. Guess what? When I was looking at this, I didn't even see the 200. I didn't see the 20. What did I see? What do you think I saw? I saw the trade not working. I started giving charge to these candlesticks. And I start letting them affect me. And it affected me so much, I didn't even look at the 200 there saying, you know what? This is only like 25 cents away. I can give it an extra 25, 30 cents just to see. That's only an extra $100. Just, look, there's nothing wrong with that. But I didn't even see this. I didn't even realize it was there. And that's how blind I was, and how having your emotions can cause you not to see, to make trading errors. And that's why I said, even though this looks so good coming down, if I stayed engaged, I might have even taken this long. I might have seen something and said, hey, all week this thing has been going long and trading back through all of this, and I could have just taken it long. And really screwed up my day. But I know if I had stayed engaged, if my mind was still where it needed to be, I would have made a ton of money today. I never would have taken this loss, because obviously this is some serious resistance. Why not give it a chance? What I've been doing all week. Okay, so this wasn't a lesson that I intended to demonstrate. It just happened. This is one of those things that lessons that you guys can learn from me. Is it going to stop you from having the same issue? It's not going to stop you altogether, because we're going to have it. We're human. We're emotional beings. We're going to make these mistakes. But, hey, it is what it is. We accept it. And like I said, I'm okay this week. I'm just ready to chill, enjoy this weekend, and get back started bright and early Monday morning. We've got a clean week. I don't see any appointments that I that I forgot about. So I should have a clean week, and we'll see how strong we can end this week up and end the month, and kind of take it from there. All right, so BA, this was the excitement today. Everything was just going good. I mean, I know I woke up this morning to it gapped up and people messaging me saying, oh, BA is gapped up. Are you going to get out? Hell no, I'm not getting out. Why would I get out? My average is 336.66. Why would I get out? This thing still has 14 more points to go to take me out. So no, this morning I'm not doing it. So I look at lunch and I'm like, yeah, what I thought is coming back in. And then I hear some news on BA. And so I log in, and you guys saw when I logged in, this candle here was printing. And, we saw this, but it still, ripped up 10. I think it got up to 326 or something like that. So it did break the high, but I'm still in this trade. So what happened, you probably had some people who were short that got scared, they got bailed out. The news is, to me, is a rumor. It's saying that they expect they expect the max to be flying again by mid-year. Why would that prompt the stock to jump 10, 12 points? There's a lot, and like I've always said from the beginning when I've been working this trade, there's a lot of big money that cannot afford this stock to roll over. I think the S&P might be heavily vested in this. Some of the big funds may be heavily vested in it, and they're going to defend this thing, and they're going to defend it to the death. But I'm not a week short in this. I'm not in big, but I'm not a week short. I got a really good entry, and it's going to allow me to really work this. So we had the big pop today. Nice movement, but I think I'm going to stick it out. I'm going to add here after the market. If everything looks good, I may look to add. It just depends on how they're moving it after market. This thing will trade up until probably 8 o'clock tonight. So depending on how it looks, I may grab some more and be back in full size. I just think this is some hearsay stuff. That's just what I think. But hey, it's all based on, FAA official allegedly saying that the max could return before mid-year. I don't know exactly what was said. So I don't know if it's just funny how this thing is sold all the way off, and then all of a sudden this news comes out and it rips up. It's just funny. But this is the market. This is the way these guys play the game. And you could either run with the big dogs or you can stay on the porch. Most of the time, I'm staying on the porch. It just so happens I got a decent, really decent entry, and I'm able to run with these big dogs for a little while. So, I'm going to run. If I get exhausted, I just get exhausted and I'm done. I already locked in profit this week, so I can't lose on it. I'm playing with the house's money. So that's where my thoughts are with BA. And here's it's on the website if you want to check it out, but this is where I got in on the 24th. And this is where we covered early this week. It did dip down a lot further, but my target was through 310. That was the first target. So I did take some. We made a good bounce yesterday. We were selling back off. It gapped up this morning. We were selling back off. Down to around 313. Through 313. And then all of a sudden, now we're back up around, we got up to around 326 right up through here today. So you could see we still haven't really recovered. There's still a long way to go if it's going to recover and bounce. If it does, oh well. I'll take my profit and we'll load up again. If not, I'll set my sights on Tesla. But that's where we're at on BA. So here's the week. Only 379.61. It's funny. I made less this week than I made the previous 2 weeks, but my accuracy is higher. I'm doing this, guys, just to prove to you that this doesn't matter. This does not matter. What your accuracy rate, what your win-loss rate is, it doesn't matter. What matters is whether you execute and you don't make trading errors. That's what matters. And if you execute properly and you don't make trading errors and you lose, you're still going to come out good. Look at what happened the first week. 0-3. I had a $488 loss, but I executed pretty good the whole week. Ended up $600. And see, we're trading small. We're trading using the $5,000, account. And as we, our account grows, we add a little buying pressure. So I'm only using $5,000 of that account. And I've got it set to where it won't allow me to use more. Because every now and then I accidentally would go to buy when I'm already long and I want to sell. Before, I wouldn't have enough buying power. It would reject the order, so it would protect me from myself. So I had to get them to limit my buying power. So I'm only getting what I would normally get with the $5,000 account, 5K account, and it's just kind of going from there. So, and same thing we did last year. Same way we started. I'm pretty much, I haven't gotten any better. I don't think I've gotten any worse. But next week, I'll have the first equity curve, and we'll be building on the equity curve every week from here on out. So that's where we are, guys. We're finishing up the week. 379, but 1460.33 for the month. And I'm not going to put a dollar amount on next week. I'm not going to say that this is my goal, but I expect to be in the $1,500 to $1,800 range at the end of next week to add to this. So, we'll see. I know I really made I made a mess of this week, and it's all my fault. Just have to make sure I clean it up next week and trade like I've got some sense. So that's going to do it for me. That wraps up my week. I'm going to go and enjoy this weekend. And come back Monday ready to rock and roll. So for you guys that will be in the room on Sunday, I'll see you Sunday for our market analysis and swing trade session. But if not, I'll see the rest of you guys on Monday.